All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is 12:26. It's the day after Christmas. Hope everyone had a great holiday. Friends, family, little food, fitness, little beverages, little football, all the good things you're supposed to have during the holiday. Some of you guys are in the mountains. Some of you are on the beach. Some of you taking a little break. If that's you, that's cool. If you're at work, you know what sucks? When you don't go on vacation, you sit at your desk, you try and do the right thing, and you lose money. So let's try not to do that. A lot of people are like, red dog, is Santa Claus coming? I'm like, well, Santa Claus has been here since Thanksgiving, and he hasn't left the table. So let's hope that we don't get any little shakeup from here in on out, because I think a lot of us are trying to, carry a few positions, some strong names, a few January effect type names, trying to end the year on a good note. I like this song. I feel like I grew up with this song in my house. I don't know. I was born in 1972, graduated college 95, high school 91, and that's, right? You're so vain. You probably think the song's about you. The song's not about you. It's not about me. But what is about you or about me is just what you're doing, how you're doing it, how are you doing it well, you're not doing it well, you're happy, you're not happy. This is the time of year when you reflect. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw, I put out my 2024 report. In the report, there's a review of all those huge percentage gains that, all the sectors had in 2023. And to be honest, wasn't that easy. There was definitely a lot of money to be made, and you could have switched gears. I know a lot of guys that, tried to be long at times and got hurt one way, tried to be short at times, got ran over. The macro was a little tough, and everyone was talking out of both sides of their tush. But we could have all done it differently. When I talk about time frames, a lot of times during this time of year, I talk about time frames. I posted that video of 2009 when people are like, oh my God, my long-term money's down 40%, and meanwhile one guy was like 53, another woman was 46. All right, so you keep putting your monthly flows all the way through, right? I'm 51. I talk about time frames. I'm hoping that I can continue to do that till I'm 59 or more. And then have a nice average cost, right? Those down years help your average cost. So if last year was a down year in 2022 and the markets were, got beat up, then you funded this year by putting money to work every single month. Or you trade for a living, and you have to figure out what charts to go with, how to use your process, how to honor your stops, how to ride out winners, how to implement a tier system so you can net money, let flyers continue, and think clearly enough so you can do it every day. So anyway, here's the chart of the S&P cash. A little bit of a doji last week, into the end of the week. And so basically everyone's like, oh, what does that mean? Are we not going to be able to break above 47.78? Are we going to hold 47.36? I'm like, well, we're still above the 8-day. We've been in a really strong trend with only 2 real gut checks since November. This day looked like maybe the sequence would end, and it didn't. And then this day looked like maybe. And then this day, if you remember that day last week, Wednesday, looked like, Santa Claus was drinking so much eggnog, he got knocked off the sleigh. But then all of a sudden we held where we had to. And then these 2 days negated that. So here we are today. What are the SPYs doing? The SPYs are up 63 cents or so. So right within this candlestick. So if you go to that candle, you look right here. You have 471.70. This is this high here was 475.89. This high here was 475.38. So really, this is 475, 476 is resistance. Here's active support. Seems as if the longer we hold over here, maybe we make a push to another high, or just hang in here and let it be very stock specific. At this point, trying to figure out what could continue. I think the stocks that are going to go up if we're in cruise control, that are going to have the best moves are the ones with the buybacks, because there's not a lot of people at the desk and most things are done through computers. So what started to work for us into last week, which paid us really well using our tier system with options. You want to go first? First one's Amazon. Amazon gave you a nice push. If you remember, we were buying options, the 150s, 152 and a halves. It hit 155. That was a nice move. I trimmed over half my options. Am I in stock? I'm still in some stock. So this is the virtual trading floor. This shows what I'm in, what I'm trading. So I have what? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions on, and then I shorted some premium higher just in case, we get a little decay. And then I have a bunch of options on. Some aren't going to work. They don't all work, but I have a bunch of options on which risk is premium paid, besides some stuff for the January effect, and for maybe strong stocks ending stronger that they don't want to take profits in. So anyway, that's the virtual trading floor. Pretty sleepy right now, only 25 people on there. So Amazon will be interesting. Can Amazon have one more move this week? It might not. It's above the 8-day, it's resting, gave you a big push. It might need the new flows of the new year, maybe not. But at this point, feels as if maybe it can continue. What's Amazon doing this morning? Let's take a looky look. It's up a whole 33 cents, not a hell of a lot. But, still in the game for another move. I'm there. Another thing that went early, which I wasn't really expecting, was Google. Wow. Google was the least of my focus. And then all of a sudden on this day, I just happened to get a little lucky by buying options, buying stock, and boom, this thing pushed around above 141, 140. Here's 142. It looks a little extended, but it's really not. You go to the weekly chart of Google. Google just started to break above this little area here. Seems like why can't I get to 150, 151? This not this week. Probably if we have a little bit of traction with some new flows. So that looks good too. Okay, that looks really good. To continue. What else looks good? Well, Microsoft seems like it's trying to poke its head out. Nice and tight here. Microsoft really hasn't done a whole hell of a lot since the high here at 384. Going sideways. It's going to have to get above 376. Here's 377.64. So if this wants to continue, it's kind of in the game. So those three names are, I think are looking, pretty good. What else do I have going on? I have Apple, but Apple I don't think is going to work. I have options. I don't have the stock. Stock's not acting well. It's not the end of the world. It hit 199. It's pulled into the 21-day. I just don't think my lotto, these are turned into lotto calls. It doesn't feel like they're going to work. So if all of a sudden it ignites, maybe I'll do something into the new year. Maybe it needs new flows, and there's been a little bit of a negative news loop around it. What else? In semiconductor land, NVIDIA, it's just hanging in quiet. I did put on some options that aren't going to work. I've traded it. This stock still, with all the banter around NVIDIA, it hasn't done anything for like 6 months. It had a great year, but it happened so fast when people weren't looking. Then by the time everybody wanted it to break out above 500, it's been like a kind of a reversion type trade. Looked the worst here. Remember that Red Dog reversal? And I think finally Kramer's like, oh, guys, head and shoulders top. When people who aren't technicians start talking about technical patterns, it's that loud and not going to work. So anyway, this was your Red Dog reversal and all the way to the top end of the range. And, that's when all the bears came out and said, double top. Didn't happen. And then here, I guess it was a small little triple top. Anyway, that was when that research department or research firm came out. So either way, it's pretty tight right now. If you take a look here, you have another wedge type pattern. So I guess we'll see if it wakes up or not at this point. It's only, it's down. What's NVIDIA doing this morning? NVIDIA it's down 30 cents. So it's a 488 right here. What's this high? This is 494. In order to get to 499, it's got to get above 494. In order to get to 504, it's got to get above 499. So these are your points of reference. If this is going to break down, it's got to get below and stay below 480. So we'll see how it goes. AMD at least gave you a higher high. Remember we played some options to that. That was nice. Hit 143.47. Still hangs in there. It's a little sloppy at times, but it's in the game. For For those of you who played ARM with me a few weeks ago and stayed with it, congratulations. That was a nice trade. Some guys are in it from 56. That was the one buy above this IPO channel. And then there was a bunch of other trades along the way. And anyway, my target was 72. It's already above it. That was a nice piece of business. Every now and then you get a new issue. It sets up. It builds and then goes. And this was a good one. It traded a little tricky, but I'm just saying it was just fine. Again, some guys like Red Dog, gold looks so good. Like, gold looks good. Again, tricky a little bit actively. So every time everyone thinks it's going to break out like they did here, wound up being a fast move lower. If you remember, Red Dog did tweet at the 50-day. First real good trade in gold that I had in a while. We bought those calls for that Friday and for I'm in calls for January for the 26th, and I also bought some shorter term ones just in case it wants to clear this 192, 192.40. The daily chart looks great. The weekly chart looks awesome. Look at this channel. If this was a tech stock, I'd be like in tier 17. Anyway, it looks pretty good. Then you go to the monthly chart. A little cup and handle. It doesn't look really like a cup and handle. Should I play with my little teapot? Anyway, looks like above 194-ish. I don't know what's going to be the catalyst there, but looks pretty good. And then, so some people are like, well, Red Dog, those are the strong stocks. What about the January effect names? Unfortunately, a lot of the January effect names are all my do not trust, do not touch list because they're all pains in the butt. Why are they pains in the butt? Well, they're probably below the 821 day, and they probably had a lot of missed starts, and they probably are, being down, unloved, and so sometimes those names get a little bit of a January effect because people are done just throwing them out, taking tax losses. So one of the ones that I do think that looks good, looks fine, is I do like Blink. This Blink poked its head above this little area. Last time it had a move, went to 460. Here's your 200-day. You kind of go back to the last year. It had a January effect move also. Went to 15. I don't expect 15, but if this one wants to go to 580, those $4 options are going to be worth a lot of money, and I'm in the stock. So that looks decent. What's it called? I'm not in QS, but some people are talking about QS. That doesn't look so good. Rivian looks pretty good. Came in, put a little bit of I wouldn't say a double top, but it got a little rejected into this 24.62. As long as this holds the 8-day, actually it's probably a decent viable spot. Maybe you want to buy some options. I see a lot of Rivians on the road. They're expensive, but they're a little bit higher end. They look better than the Teslas. Teslas, getting very mainstream in my opinion. But anyway, Rivian, that's not really a January effect name because it performed well, performed decently. I will say, I can't believe I bought this name, Tilray again. It's trying to poke its head up a little bit. The wellness sector, the cannabis sector has been absolutely horrendous in a bear market for 4 or 5 years. It's like the boy who cried wolf. It's going to go medicinal or recreational or this or that. Bottom line is, they got to friggin' police all those fake dispensaries that don't have licenses. Otherwise, they can't make money the right way, and it's not going to go into names like this. But anyway, Tilray, I think for next year, it's an interesting story. You have THC infused seltzers, and then you have a lot of other things. Not that I say I drink any of those things, but a lot of people like them. So we'll see. Maybe there's a move towards 340. I remember when this hit 300 and everyone's getting their clock cleaned. Remember that back in the day? Jeez, how we remember stuff. But anyway, I'm in a little bit of this. It's, not going to be make or break. A few of the other things already started working. That's why we start getting the January effect names. We don't wait till the second, third day, or the last 2-3 days of December. Chewy, it's been working well. A lot of you guys already made your 100%. Does look like it can continue. It looks like it could see the 200-day at least. We started buying it in here. That was a nice play. I think that was more of a Jake play. Jake's a younger guy in the business that I, got to know pretty well. It was pretty good. Chewy was good. This toast was really good. For us, look at that. Nice trade here is where we started this. So we started a lot of these things. Sometimes it starts the January effect accumulating like mid-December, just in case the selling stops and it starts to go prior. and then I could always accumulate more and not get too big just in case they start selling until the end of the year. But this is another nice little bull flag with the 200-day right above if it gets through. Seems like it can go. Remember when we had Square on there? That was in a January fight. That was just a great play to the 200-day and it went a lot more. For those of you guys said, hey, that I helped make your year when I bought Square. This was more of a, sometimes a stock gets reborn. Reborn. We all want to be reborn, don't you? Sometimes, you know how you get reborn, you just make some small changes. Or you got to make some big changes. And then you alter the costs. That's how you can be reborn. Well, this was reborn with a big gap up, held the earnings gap, could have bought on this day, and guess what? It's been above the 8-day ever since. Wow. When it was here, I'm like, I can get to the 200-day. You guys thought I was out of my mind, and now look where it went. Because again, I looked at the weekly chart, and the weekly chart gave me a little perspective that it can get towards 80. Now it could probably get up to here, 95-ish, especially the way Bitcoin's been acting. I like some move with Bitcoin. Oh, talking about Bitcoin, let's get to Bitcoin. Bitcoin did not give you a Bitcoin Christmas. What movie was that? That's like a 1980s flick. Remember? I want my $2. Anyway, Bitcoin's still hanging though. Maybe you'll have a New Year's crypto or not. It's getting very loud around crypto, but it looks good. It's still hanging around. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin did not get above 45,000. Wow. But it didn't need to. Still looks okay, you know, still hanging in there. The bigger the base, the bigger the move. And right now, it's kind of coming in a little bit, you could say. For those with really, really, really tight stops, I guess I would put it halfway in this upper area just in case they want to shake the tree a little bit. Why isn't my line working? That's right here. This is 42-ish. But I would say really, you know, put your stop in maybe 39. You got to give it some room, especially if you're in it from 28 or you're in it from when it took out 31,000. But nice move. I do think Bitcoin could be something you have in your asset allocation model. What does that mean? It means that if you allocate, you know, certain percentage to equities, to bonds, to gold, you could do a certain amount to Bitcoin because Bitcoin will be here for decades to come. Not the SHIT coins because one or two of them might work here and there, but a bunch of them still going to go to zero. So be careful there. Don't just start getting all caught up. Anyway, it's not a crypto Christmas. Maybe you have a crypto New Year's, but we'll see. If you go to the weekly chart, you'll see that still hanging here. Weekly chart tells a bigger story. Remember this buy back in 2020? That was awesome. And then this was your high that came in 2021. Now you have a bit of a bull type flag building. So if I were to say, hey, where do you think Bitcoin can go next year? Well, you have a few points of reference. The longer you hold 40, above 45, you have 48, and then 55 is where it broke down from right here. And then you have 63 and 69. So I would just map out step by step and know what you're doing and how you're looking to do it and what your time frame is. And lastly, I guess I'll leave you with Tesla because it did, you know, nibble a little bit towards the close. Tesla kind of like, but it's hanging here. It is something. It could. It could. We'll see. If you're long, you could put your stop in at 247 if you're in the mountains and you're in the beaches and you don't want to be watching it, and you think maybe you can get to above 259 or 268. Well, it's got a whole 247. And if it could get moving, let it get moving. That'd be nice. It'd be nice. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It hasn't led all year. Poor Elon's been hanging out on the floor. Elon's on the floor. You know, even though it's above the 8-day, but Elon will be back on the wall. If we can get above 260 this week and get to 268. I am a fair weather friend. I'm a great friend to my friends around here. Like I say to you, if you want to start changing the world, be a better person in your community. You know, do some charity work. You know, donate your time. You know, be a coach for youth sports, and all of a sudden, good things happen. When you do good things here, they all spread out. You can't worry about what's happening over there. You can't take care of your business over here. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, except for I'm going to drink my coffee. I'm a little tired. Yes, I did get up this morning, and yes, I was in my sauna. I was in my ice barrel, and I was out late last night for Christmas. I was also watching fantasy football. When McCaffrey's playing against you, you never feel good. P.S. The dog pound is in the championship next weekend. But anyway, I got to sleep around 12, so it wasn't that easy getting up at 4:30 this morning. But listen, you got to do what you got to do, right? Take care of your business. You know, pressing snooze is not for the strong-minded. Yes, every now and then you press snooze once or twice, but you know, literally, I read this one book. It said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whenever you're in bed, you're like, oh, I don't want to get up. Just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just get up. Count down. Whenever you're in a stressful situation, count down from 5. And then when you're there, boom, it's go time. Go time. That go time is two great words that when you say it, it's almost like it brings you back to your youth. You know, you can still have go time as an adult. Anyway, I appreciate you. If you're here this week, I'm going to be here all week. I'll probably be in and out with some stops on, with some options on. Chase's a basketball tournament tomorrow and the next day, so we're home for the holiday. Varsity athletes can't leave for vacation, so no vacations for me for the next 6 months because then he goes right into lacrosse. So the good news for you is that I'm not going to be on the road. So we'll be here hanging out. And I'll be doing things here to keep me happy and keep me sane, which is sauna, ice barrel, running the reservation. Guess what? Today's a fantastic day. You know why? It's Cadence's birthday. Cadence is 10 years old. I'm going to post a collage of me and my dog, my BFF. If you were thinking about getting a dog in 2024 for the family, go get a dog. Probably the best value added you could have for the family. They're awesome. All right, guys. Good luck today.